Welcome to Newsbeacon, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. For decades, Made in China was the default label on everything from smartphones to socks, shoes, to kitchen appliances. The world became accustomed to the idea that if you bought it, chances are, it came from China. Western companies enjoyed the benefits of cheap labor, streamlined supply chains, and unmatched efficiency, while China's economy soared to new heights, transforming cities and lifting millions out of poverty. But now, that once solid partnership is fracturing under the weight of new realities, political tensions, rising costs, and shifting priorities. Major corporations like Apple and Amazon are orchestrating a slow-motion exodus from China, quietly moving production to countries like Vietnam, India, and Mexico. This isn't just a minor business tweak, it's a fundamental rewiring of the global economic order, with supply chains being redrawn and trade routes shifting in real time. The era of relying on China as the world's factory is ending, replaced by uncertainty, anxiety, and tough questions for everyone involved, from factory workers to CEOs. Experts call it decoupling or de-risking, a scramble to avoid putting all our eggs in one politically charged basket, as companies rethink where and how their products are made. The risks of concentrating production in China have become impossible to ignore, fueled by tariffs, trade wars, and escalating geopolitical tension between superpowers. The implications are massive, affecting workers, executives, and consumers worldwide. Jobs are at stake, prices may rise, and the future of global trade hangs in the balance. The great uncoupling has begun, and no one knows exactly where the pieces will land or how the new map of global manufacturing will look. It's like watching a Jenga tower wobble. Everyone's holding their breath, hoping they're not the one to pull the final block and set off a chain reaction that changes everything. Why are companies fleeing China? In a word, tariffs. The US has slapped hefty import taxes on Chinese goods, making production there far more expensive. For giants like Apple, these tariffs add billions in costs, no small headache. Suddenly, China's cheap labor doesn't look so cheap. Companies face a tough choice: stick with China's unmatched manufacturing machine and risk more tariffs, or move and absorb the cost of change. The trade war and rising tensions have made relying on China a dangerous gamble. The pandemic exposed just how fragile global supply chains can be. For public companies, hoping for the best isn't a strategy. Diversification is now a matter of survival. The risk is no longer just financial, it's geopolitical. What if the conflict escalates? What if supply chains snap overnight? The writing's on the wall. Diversify or die. Staying in China is a bet most companies aren't willing to make anymore. As China's welcome mat gets pulled back, the world is witnessing a dramatic shift in the global manufacturing landscape. For decades, China was the undisputed factory of the world, powering economies and filling store shelves everywhere. But rising costs, stricter regulations, and geopolitical tensions have made companies rethink their strategies. Now, companies are searching for the next China, a place where they can build, assemble, and ship products at scale, while minimizing risk and maximizing efficiency. India and Vietnam have emerged as top contenders, offering not just large labor forces, but also governments eager for investment and reform. Their young populations and growing technical skills make them especially attractive. Apple is betting big on India, investing billions to make it a new iPhone hub for the US market. Other tech giants are following suit, hoping to tap into India's vast workforce and rising consumer base. Meanwhile, Vietnam is quickly becoming the go-to destination for iPads and Apple Watches, with a growing presence from global electronics brands. Its proximity to China and efficient ports give it a strategic edge. But moving production isn't simple. It means building entirely new supply chains, training thousands of workers, and navigating unfamiliar regulations and business cultures. Every step requires careful planning and huge investment. It's a massive, expensive undertaking, but for many companies, it's necessary to escape China's growing uncertainty and to diversify their risks. For India and Vietnam, this is a golden ticket: foreign investment, job creation, and a shot at true economic transformation. New factories mean new opportunities for millions. Their governments are rolling out incentives, cutting red tape, and building infrastructure, all in a race to become the world's new workshops. The challenge? scaling up fast enough to meet surging demand, while avoiding the pitfalls that once plagued China, like labor unrest, environmental issues, and supply bottlenecks. The stakes are high for everyone involved: companies, workers, and entire economies. The global supply chain is being redrawn in real time, with every decision shaping the future of trade. Success could mean a new economic miracle for India and Vietnam, lifting millions out of poverty and reshaping the world's industrial map. But failure could mean missed opportunity, economic setbacks, and chaos for workers and investors alike. While India and Vietnam celebrate new opportunities and economic growth, China faces a sobering reality as its once booming manufacturing sector slows down. Millions of factory workers now fear unemployment as companies move out, searching for cheaper labor and friendlier business environments elsewhere. Once bustling factories risk becoming empty shells, silent reminders of a fading era that powered China's rise. For workers in places like Shenzhen, the future is suddenly uncertain, with jobs vanishing almost overnight. The impact is deeply personal. Livelihoods, dreams, and entire communities are at stake as families worry about how to pay bills and support loved ones. When a major factory leaves, it's not just the workers who suffer, it triggers a domino effect. Suppliers lose contracts, local restaurants lose customers, and landlords struggle to fill empty apartments as people move away in search of work. The threat isn't just to factories but to whole towns built around them, where every shop and service depends on the factory's success. China's manufacturing base remains vast, stretching across provinces and employing millions, but losing flagship companies is a major blow that shakes confidence in the future. The government is scrambling to pivot toward high-tech industries, invest in innovation, and boost domestic consumption to offset these losses. But for workers caught in the transition, retraining and new opportunities are not guaranteed, and the immediate outlook is bleak, with many left wondering what comes next. The social and economic fallout is just beginning, rippling through families and communities. The human cost of this global shift is impossible to ignore, as resilience is tested and uncertainty grows. China's economic miracle is facing its toughest test yet, and the world is watching to see how it responds. Here's the twist. While companies move production out of China, they're still desperate to sell there. Apple, for example, is shifting factories abroad but enjoying a surge in Chinese sales. Government subsidies have even helped boost iPhone sales in major cities. It's a strange dance production leaves, but the market remains vital. China needs Apple's brand and jobs. Apple needs China's billion-plus consumers. Both sides are navigating a complex, sometimes contradictory relationship. Meanwhile, Apple's profits are soaring, with massive stock buybacks signaling business is booming. Amazon is quietly diversifying its sellers, but its global sales and profits are also surging. These companies are absorbing the costs of moving, dodging tariffs, and still posting record profits. It's a masterclass in corporate adaptation. The rules of global capitalism are being rewritten in real time. The China paradox is here to stay. So, what does all this mean for you? The global supply chain shakeup will hit your wallet and your shopping habits. Moving production out of China is costly. Expect higher prices on gadgets and electronics. Companies won't absorb all these costs. Some will be passed on to consumers. Product availability could also take a hit as new supply chains ramp up. The days of instant, seamless delivery may be over, at least for now. But there's a silver lining. Diversified supply chains mean less risk of total disruption. In the long run, this could mean more stable access to goods, even if prices are a bit higher. The "Made in" label on your next device might surprise you. Short-term pain could lead to a more resilient global marketplace. The era of ultra-cheap goods is ending, but a more robust system may emerge. Your shopping cart is about to get a global makeover. Apple's pivot is bigger than just moving iPhones. The company is re-architecting its entire production strategy, spreading risk across multiple countries. India will handle most US-bound iPhones. Vietnam is ramping up for iPads and watches. It's a multi-billion-dollar insurance policy against future shocks. Apple is also investing heavily in the US, focusing on software and high-tech roles. This isn't just about leaving China, it's about building a globally resilient operation. Apple's financial performance is stronger than ever, with new products and AI ventures fueling growth. The upcoming iPhone 17 Air launch is generating huge buzz. Apple is pulling off a high-wire act, reorganizing its supply chain while still innovating. It's a masterclass in strategic foresight. The company is setting the template for how to survive and thrive in a new global order. Apple's grand pivot is reshaping the tech world. Amazon's strategy is quieter but just as transformative. Instead of moving its own factories, Amazon is pushing its millions of third-party sellers to diversify away from China. The company's algorithms now favor sellers from Vietnam, India, Mexico, and beyond. This shift protects Amazon and its customers from tariff shocks and supply disruptions. It's a grassroots rewiring of global trade, one seller at a time. Amazon's profits and sales continue to surge, proving the strategy works. The company is building a more robust, decentralized supply chain for the future. For Amazon, the end of China's dominance is an opportunity, not a crisis. The retail landscape is being reshaped behind the scenes. Amazon's quiet exodus is changing how and where the world shops. We're entering a new era of global commerce, messier, more complex, and less predictable. The Make Everything in China model is being replaced by a fragmented, multipolar world of manufacturing. This isn't a temporary blip, it's a permanent reorganization of the global economy. China faces the challenge of reinventing itself as factories empty and workers face uncertainty. Yet paradoxically, companies like Apple still thrive in China's consumer market. For consumers, expect higher prices and occasional shortages as the world adjusts. The Made in label will become more diverse, reflecting a decentralized world. There won't be a single next China, just a patchwork of new manufacturing hubs. For companies, it's a calculated move to secure future dominance. For developing nations, it's a rare opportunity. For workers, it's a time of profound uncertainty. The world's factory is closing for renovation. The blueprint for what comes next is still being drawn.